Hello friends, so we are continuing our series on daily current affairs, and through which what we'll do is we'll skill you all to comprehend how to negotiate MCQs. Alright, देखो, the problem is our studies are basically based on reading for the purpose of writing answers, and therefore skill of identifying answers is not developed, and that is basically what we want to address. We have seen in our experience, GS Core has seen that students do have content, but that content does not get translated into marks in prelims examination. Alright, so this is our effort to showcase how that content has to be used by you, how that content basically has to be used by you for the purpose of upscaling your marks in prelims, and there is no rocket science involved. Alright, it has to be only understanding the technique and then practicing. Alright, for the purpose of understanding the technique, obviously we are there here, and these videos will help you. What I want you to do is practice the technique by yourself also, and if needed, take help of GS Core. Alright, take help of GS Core. ठीक है, so let us now start with the most important topics in today's newspaper. What were they? So first and foremost, green corridor. It is actually a very deceptive term. Why it is deceptive? We'll look into it, and how to, save yourself from losing marks. That also we will see in this question. Then there is something called as mixed reality, biopiracy, assisted reproductive technology, and private investment. Okay, based on certain banking reports. Chalo, let us now look into what basically is green corridor. If you just go by the term, you will notice or you will think that it is related to climate or environment. Alright, and it will be something associated with afforestation or planting trees, right? The term will basically indicate you towards it. But if UPSC is asking a question on the term, which UPSC has done over the period of time, by the way, UPSC basically has done it over the period of time. What they have done is they have provided the term and they have asked you the meaning of that term. Alright, so if such a term comes up in the question, alright, remember your elimination method. Elimination method will not help you. Alright, what will happen is you will focus on the term and go by its literal meaning. And UPSC wants you to do the same so that you can commit the mistake. Alright, so this is simply a fallacy that many students commit. More than this, what is required is knowing the actual and factual information with respect to that particular term. And where you can find it? You can of course find it in the ThinkQ of GS Core, the link of which is provided in the description section. Already, ThinkQ will basically help you to comprehend daily current affairs. and thus say updated, and then eliminate such mistakes which you may commit, but we will not allow you to commit, don't worry, which you may commit. So what then is actually green corridor? Green corridor basically is a passage that is created for transportation of organs. ठीक है, transportation of organs, legal, obviously, legal transportation of organs. All right, so recently what happened was, from Chandigarh, organs were transferred to Delhi, and in that case what happened was, from Chandigarh airport the organs were transported to IGI, Indira Gandhi International Airport, and from there a green corridor was created till the concerned hospital. It does not mean that any special road is constructed, but the existing road, the traffic on existing road, traffic and passage of vehicles on existing roads is so managed that the organ reaches hospital in least amount of time. All right, so this is green corridor, and this is how you have to deal with terminologies. In terminologies, as I said, actual and factual information is required to be ascertained, is required to be known, is required to be ascertained. All right. In essence, what does green corridor mean? The answer is C, corridor for transportation of organs. All right. Now moving on to the next topic, and this is related to mixed reality. Mixed reality is one of the many applications of artificial intelligence. And what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is where machines take initiatives without human interference. Machines take initiatives, machine makes endeavors without human interference. That basically is artificial intelligence. Over the period of time, UPSC has increased its concentration on artificial intelligence. So what is required to be known? The most basic definition and also applications of artificial intelligence. Is required, where all it can be used. All right, with respect to applications now, it is also important to remember or know what impact those applications will make. And in sectors where those applications basically will be made. So if you basically talk about mixed reality, what mixed reality is and why is it in news? ठीक है, तो Apple basically has launched an headset which will include both visual aid and hearing aid. Hearing aid matlab you will be able to listen to it and also see graphics on it. So both of this will be included. Visual images and also you will be able to hear voices through it. ठीक है, also you will be able to hear sound through it. And this particular headset that Apple is launched has been termed as Vision Pro. Has been termed as Vision Pro. This is a fine example of mixed reality. This basically is a fine example of mixed reality. All right. If I take you into details of mixed reality, थोड़ा सा if we get into the details of mixed reality ना, तो what basically is MR or mixed reality? It is blend. It is blend of visual reality plus augmented reality. All right. Visual reality and augmented reality. And this blend basically allows interaction between those objects that are created artificially only for digital purpose and those objects that are available in the real world. Those objects basically that are available in the real world. All right. Now this particular technology, what it will do over the period of time is it will help across multiple sectors. All right. So it can happen that a child sitting at home will be basically helped to take lessons from the school at distance. And while he is doing so, the real reality of teacher teaching will be combined with the visual reality of graphics. All right, so teacher will be able to take the help of graphics in the lesson and provide a better teaching experience or better learning experience to the student. All right. In the same way, what do we see is other sectors that can be helped are manufacturing sectors, healthcare, where basically doctor can provide prescription to his patients through MR. Also what the doctor can do is he would be able to perform surgeries using MR. All right, using MR, taking into consideration the actual position of the patient, the affected body part, and at the same time using visual reality for the purpose of locating a particular problem and providing remedy through visual reality. Same goes with tourism. Same basically goes with tourism industry. So MR basically will help in multiple sectors, and these are the prime examples of the sectors in which it will be used. So let us look at the question. Consider the following sectors: education, manufacturing, healthcare, tourism. On how many of the above does mixed reality can be employed by the end user? Basically all of them. D is the answer. Basically all of them. All right, basically all of them. So D is the answer. चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. Let us move ahead. Very important, biopiracy. India has been victim of biopiracy for a very long period of time. All right, what basically is biopiracy that we will first look into? Biopiracy, my dear friends, is when you take traditional knowledge of a community on any product and then market the same without providing any benefit of that knowledge to the concerned community, that is basically called biopiracy. Now ancient civilizations and those countries who basically have had ancient civilizations, for example India, for example China, Iran and Iraq, Egypt, these countries have been victim of biopiracy. Reason for that is, these are ancient civilizations, obviously their association with nature has been longer than other countries, and because of that they are in possession of knowledge with respect to nature that other countries are still not able to garner, है ना. For example, use of say tulsi for medicinal purposes, use of products like jeera for the purpose of digestion. All right. In the same way, use of other products which would help humans. This knowledge the ancient civilizations do have. All right. This knowledge is utilized by multinationals and the benefit of same is not made available to the indigenous people. Not only that, what has had happened in the past is patents have been registered by multinationals on the basis of knowledge of these products, and the indigenous community itself has not been able to utilize those products after that. Neither they could have utilized those products without the permission of the multinational, nor they are able to sell it. So this is actually unjustified, and it is only after few shockers that India, China, Iraq, Iran and Egypt have received. What they have done is they have consistently fought against biopiracy from the Western Hemisphere. Alright, from the Western Hemisphere. So if we look into biopiracy as such, so this is the context of it, this is the content of it. Now let us look at the question. Consider the following statements regarding biopiracy. Biopiracy refers to appropriation of intellectual property by means of hacking or theft. No, hacking or theft basically is not included. Okay? Hacking or theft is not included in it. What basically happens is you just start using the technology which has been used by a particular civilization or community for many years, and then what you basically do with that particular knowledge, you do not share the benefits. Benefits are not shared. Done. So first statement is wrong. Second statement, it is limited to drug development only. No, drug development is one of the sectors where it is used. It is also used for the purpose of agriculture, agricultural technologies that are known to some communities. That also becomes the part of biopiracy. In the same way, manufacturing sector has also been victim of biopiracy. Alright, so first two statements are wrong. Consider the following statement. Now both the statements are wrong. So which option we will select? D. Which of the given statement is are correct? Neither. Neither one nor two. ठीक है, चल. Now let us move to assisted reproductive technology. Now assisted reproductive technology basically is when reproduction is carried out through medical intervention in a specific way. All types of medical interventions, medical interventions are not included. Alright. Now which type of medical intervention will qualify as ART? Alright, which type of it will qualify as ART, that we will have to look into. So first and foremost, what happens in ART is it basically includes fertility treatment, in which either eggs of female or embryos are utilized. Now how they are utilized? How basically they are utilized? So what will be done is, female's eggs are removed, and then they are combined with sperms in laboratory. Alright, they are combined with sperms in laboratory, plus a zygote is formed by the union of eggs and sperms, and this zygote then is kept in, it is then inserted into woman's body, that particular woman's body, or another woman's body. All right, now this particular phenomena where the zygote is inseminated into another woman's body, this is called as surrogacy. This basically is called as surrogacy. ठीक है. It does not involve treatments done for the purpose of bettering the quality of sperms. Okay. If we take into consideration ART in India, so the issues related to ART are handled under the guidelines of surrogacy law. Surrogacy regulations. All right, under it, the services of ART can be taken into consideration by, first and foremost, a woman who wants to have child and is above the age of 50. Or else, with respect to those married couples married couples who basically are not able to bear child and can be termed as infertile. Please do not use this term. This is a medical term and it has to be used in medical reference only. All right. Or else they are not able to conceive a child, and a medical practitioner basically has confirmed this particular issue. All right. Now let us take into consideration the question provided. Consider the following statement regarding assisted reproductive technology. First statement is it includes treatments in which eggs and embryos are handled together, or only sperm is handled. Nahi. Only where sperm is handled, it will not be part of ATR. It will not be part of ART, sorry. It will not be part of ART. Second statement is the cutoff age for women till which she can mother through ART is 50 years. Nahi, cutoff age nahi hai. This is basically the age after which ATR can be used by a woman, because it is normally felt that after 50 years a woman becomes infertile. So it is not as if till 50 a woman can use this technology and not after that. It is in fact a woman can use this technology after 50 years. Of course, those women within the age bracket of 50 years can use them if the woman is infertile, and second thing is she is not able to bear a child with her partner. The donor will have parenting rights over child born through ATR? Of course not. All right. The woman who provides her eggs, or provides womb for the purpose of development of the child, will have no rights as such with respect to the child. How many statements are correct? None of the statement is correct, hence our answer will be D. Hence our answer basically will be D. Moving on to the last question of the day, and this is related to private investment. Now private investment, what has happened is HBSC Bank has provided a survey, and in this survey it has mentioned that there is no solid evidence as such that situation in India calls for sustained investment. What it basically means is India still is not 100% welcoming and is not viewed 100% safe for the purpose of investments. All right, it does not mean that it has said anything wrong about India. It is just saying that now the roadmap has to be set even in a better way. It is not criticizing India as such, but it is saying that a better roadmap is needed, through which what can happen is development of India can happen. Why? Because if a better roadmap is provided, then companies will be able to invest. And when I said better roadmap, what does it mean? It basically means that ease for doing business has to be improved. Now when we say ease for doing business has to be improved, just don't go by the ease for doing business index. That is completely different thing. Although some parameters can be included, there should be political stability. Political stability is very important. There has to be clarity with respect to law. With respect to laborers or with respect to working class, there has to be reforms. The way in which government treats working class and the way in which private sector can treat working class. Also, my dear friends, there has to be a coordination between different organs of the government as such, different organs of economy or different sectors of economy, so that economic transactions between different sections can happen. ठीक है, तो mobile manufacturer should basically be coordinated with the chip manufacturer, right? Then only what we will see is a fully flourishing mobile industry in India. So this is what basically HBSC Bank and its report is speaking about. All right, so let us look at the question. Private investment play crucial role in driving economic growth in a country. No question about that. Various factors influence private investment decisions. Yes, impacting the overall economic landscape 100%. Which of the following statements is correct regarding private investments in its role for economic development? Okay, let us see. Private investment is solely determined by government policies and regulation? Absolutely not. It is determined by number of factors. Most important, I will say, is government policies. I will say most important among them is government policies. ठीक है. Other is whether the country is investable at all. There may be best policies by the government, but if the foreign investors do not feel that the country is safe for investment, they will not get in. For example, Pakistan. ठीक है. With respect to investments, they do have good policies. In fact, if you read international newspapers, you don't read it, we will do it for you. They do have some of the best investment policies. But foreign investors are basically not entering Pakistan. And the reason for that is their political instability. So the country should be investable also. It should have peace also. Second thing is human resource of that country. It should also be safe. It is also important to see the legal system of the country. Will it provide justice? If there is a dispute with respect to investment, so there are a number of factors. Government policies, I will say, is the most important factor. It is the most important factor. Second, economic growth is independent of private investment and is primarily driven by public sector initiatives? Absolutely not. Private investments play the most important role. ठीक है. Public sector over the period of time, what it is doing is it is becoming a coordinator. It itself does not want to be a player in economy. Why? Because there are 2-3 things with respect to public sector. ठीक है. First is public sector does not focus on profit. And because it does not focus on profit, the economic system becomes inefficient. Alright, it becomes inefficient. And second is with respect to providing jobs. देखो, private sector, because of private sector, there can be multiple players. Now, these multiple players will provide employment also, and competition also. And this will ultimately result into betterment of products and basically better service for customer. Public sector cannot accommodate so much of employment also, and because public sector is there, private sector will not enter that particular field or scenario, and thus inefficiency will be promoted. All right. So public sector now takes role of coordinator, it takes role of facilitator. Whereas it is private sector that more or less plays the role in economic growth. Third statement, private investment tends to increase when there is political stability and favorable business environment. Of course, this is right. All right. We have already seen it. The private sector investments plays significant role in economic development by overshadowing public initiatives? Absolutely not. Public initiatives have their own role. ठीक है, for example, welfare schemes, they have their own role. Overshadowing का बात ही नहीं है. Both of them work in their respective arenas. Public sector has its own space, private sector has its own space, private investment has its own space. ठीक है. So in this particular question, what will be the right answer? Right answer will be C. Alright friends, thank you so much. We will be posting such videos every day. And what I want you to do is, look at first and foremost the content that we discuss. Alright, and then see how we use that particular content for the purpose of solving questions. And this is what you will need in your prelims examination. Alright, if there are any doubts, if there are any problems, please mention them in the comment section. And please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much.